For all the money Electronic Arts or EA Games gets from FIFA Ultimate Team, microtransactions, and loot boxes, which are legalized forms of casinos to children and vulnerable adults, you would think that that EA will create a top-notch information technology team, an IT team, one that emphasizes on making sure that their servers are secure and everything is backed up and secure, have multiple backups, and they have little network downtime as possible. And you would pay them very well, upwards to $100,000 a year, and have a dedicated team of cybersecurity experts for their servers. Evidently, that's not the case because EA recently was subject to a massive hack attack through ransomware. Now, what is ransomware? Ransomware, also known as ransom scareware or ransom malware, is a form of malware that prevents the victim's users access to a valuable resource. The resource being the person's or the company's computer and files and folders, and extorts a ransom payment to reestablish access to said resources. Computers and companies affected by malware can still function with limited capabilities, such as only allowing the users to interact with the ransomware and pay the ransom. And how the ransom is being paid? Cryptocurrency. Now, you would think there are the ways that they can prevent ransomware. You would think big corpos will know better, like having comprehensive backups, networks that are compartmentalized by departments, and national technical support personnel that are well funded and well paid. In this case, they haven't. EA, like many other companies, don't implement such IT networks because they see IT networks as IT staff as cost centers. And look at what they have now. Look at the position they're at now. Because even though EA is not one of the big four targeted by ransomware, they're not a healthcare company, they're not a financial services company, they're not a government company, they're not manufacturing. They are a big tech company when it comes to video games. Now, more details. Let's look up the article from Ars Technica. Game maker Electronic Arts and the Prestige Isle Police Department in Maine are responding to an event they have both been dreading: the theft of gigabytes of private data by hackers who breached into their internet-connected networks. In EA case, the theft included 780 gigabytes of source code and tools for FIFA 2021, according to a post published this week on an underground crime forum. The person who published the post with the username Leakbook was offering to sell the data. You have full capability of exploring all EA services, the person wrote. Now, how much are these hackers selling the data they have now? $28 million. Problem is that for EA, they can easily pay the ransom because of the fact that they are rolling in millions of dollars in microtransactions from FIFA Ultimate Team. Now, that law enforcement organization I mentioned, the police department, they'll be fine, since they had backups. For EA, it's easy for them to pay the hackers ransom because they don't have money, because they do have money rolling in from FIFA Ultimate Team. It basically prints money from kids and vulnerable adults and whales. Yes, whales. Whales are basically the primary resource of how these free-to-play games are still bankrolled. So honestly, what are the best solutions for these corpos to prevent a ransomware attack? As ransomware attacks are targeted towards people and companies that do not invest time and money in preventing these attacks. Honestly, EA see IT staff as a cost center, as a cost bucket. So much so that a basic backup process requires some work and discipline. Basically, it takes work and discipline to maintain backups week after week, month after month. Basically making it time-consuming to most companies and people. That alone creates a weakness that these ransomware authors and hackers exploit for money, and they make big bucks doing so. And they do it from places where there are no extradition treaties, like in the Union of Independent Countries, I don't remember the actual acronym, but is it basically basically Eastern Europe and Russia. Eastern Europe and Russia. Well, they do this with absolute impunity. And most people and most companies do not care until it's too late. And that's when they suddenly care. That's when they suddenly care. But it keeps happening over and over again because they don't actually care about IT. And people are more likely to get their files back because it's simply easier to spend time and money. I mean, it's simply easier to just pay the ransomware, the people behind the ransomware, than spend time and money doing basic prevention. And basic prevention is just simple as 3 things. First, do routine backups of data. There should be 2 ways this can be done. This can be done every week on a certain day like Saturday or Wednesday. Have 2 copies of data that should be saved. One that is active and one that is in cold storage. Cold storage means it's not connected to any internet network. And then you have another one that's in a safe location away from the office, like Iron Mountain. Does EA have a section in Iron Mountain? They should have. 2 is education, and the best in education is the cure, and prevention is the cure. The best way to educate users is basically tell users not to open and avoid email links and attachments that are suspicious, and must be taught and reminded on a weekly basis. A weekly email should be sent to users reminding the importance of prevention and educate people what is a crypto locker and how to prevent being infected by one. Another way is patching and blocking known sites of lockers. Most locker sites occur in sites providing unlawful or spicy content. Such sites need to be blocked ASAP. With the rise of malware adverts, it's best to install ad blockers on every computer to prevent such a hack or file infection. My computers all have ad block, all of them. And not only it gives me a safer web experience, it gives me a clean web experience. Since I don't want to be bombarded by adverts, I don't want to be bombarded by adverts and all playing videos. That really slows the computer down. And finally, the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, suggested that managers must use of privileged accounts so that all work gets accomplished at the lowest privilege level possible. Basically, set all regular user accounts at the lowest UAC level if you're still using Windows 7. Windows 10, I think you should do the same as well if they have UAC active. That's all I gotta say. EA really could have easily prevented this if they invested in their IT teams. If they invested in their IT staff. But most companies like EA don't want to do it because it's cheaper to just pay the people behind the ransomware and the hackers instead of investing time and money. Thanks for watching.